Okay. Welcome to our poetry workshop brought to you by Hope at Hand as a part of the 10th annual Jack's Poetry Fest. Every April, Hope at Hand partners with a consortium of poets, cultural institutions, and art agencies and poetry enthusiasts to celebrate National Poetry Month with a special festival of poetry. Help at Hand is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides poetry therapy sessions for vulnerable and at-risk youth, which facilitates healing and personal growth through the use of poetry, creativity, art, and therapeutic approaches. Today's workshop, The Full Picture, Photo-Poetics as a New Lens for Writing, featuring Deborah Eve Grayson. Deborah is a registered poetry therapist, an expressive arts specialist, a licensed mental health counselor with a PhD in clinical sexology, and enjoys a private practice helping individuals with trauma, depression, and anxiety. An award-winning author and photographer, she is also a college professor. And with that, Deborah, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you so much, Ruth. I appreciate that beautiful introduction, most of which is true. Just kidding about that. It is true. Poetry is the vehicle for me that just drives me. It drives me to unexplored places. It leaves me in a state of wonder, curiosity, intrigue, and adventure every single time I read or write poetry. And I'm just wondering if those of you out there share that same view. Yes, are we looking through the same lens? Just a kind of thumbs up in the chat will show me that. Yeah, okay. Or even on the video. Perfect. So we are each other's people. Wonderful. Photography is the constant companion. Even my earrings are cameras. This is from an old typewriter key. Is a constant companion that accompanies me when words are not enough and easily fill in the spaces for all the senses to reach. So, we are from all places in the world. So before I start with the slide, if you could please type in the chat where you are from and what your current view is from where you sit. So this is a small exercise. It will give us a chance to land before we launch. All right. So I will start that I am from New Jersey, really. I have a standardized dialect because I studied speech pathology for a little while and for 18 months, and I use that still. And they had to standardize my dialect so I wouldn't sound like I was from Brooklyn, which is not exactly where I'm from. But I do have an essence of that in me. So I am both a city and a country girl. And from where I sit, well, y'all are in my office right now. So I'm taking a break from seeing patients, clients, and to be here with you right now. So, where are you from? Where are you from? And what is the view from where you sit? So, I want to see where you are from. Connie from Anchorage, Alaska, looking out at fresh snow, about 2 inches and more coming, more falling. Beautiful. Can't read them fast enough. Well, okay. Let me expand the view. Anchorage, Alaska, looking out at fresh snow. That's when I read. Ithaca view of Cayuga Lake. That is a Kaiser. Hello to you from Ireland, but joining you from Vancouver Island. And from where I sit, I can see cherry blossoms outside my window. How beautiful is this? From Hong Kong, currently in Pasadena, California, my messy living room table, my washer and dryer, and cat exercise wheel. How perfect. South Carolina. These are beautiful, beautiful. I wish I could hear all of your voices from Pakistan, currently in Florida, looking out at my orange tree in my backyard. Listen to the poetry of all of this. I am from India. My view is a slow stitching poetry project and a very messy desk full of creative ideas. I'm so happy you are coming from messy desks, things that are unorganized. New York, Lenape Land, looking at a screen in a living room from Manhattan. Fort Collins, also clutter, pile of boxes waiting to be filled for a move. Well, that's kind of exciting. St. Petersburg, where I sit, where I can see hurricane damaged Tropicana field. So sorry for that. I can relate, being from Florida myself. Yes, I understand. Okay. Does that give you a little composite? Is there anybody who would like to speak where they're from and the line that describes the lens that they're looking through? If so, please unmute and state. Say it, because I would love to hear at least one voice.
From Hong Kong, currently in Pasadena, California. My messy living room table, my washer and dryer, and a cat exercise wheel.
I love that, and I hope you expand on that. That's a beautiful start. A beautiful start. First name, please.
Oh, my name?
Yes,
Oh, Yun.
Young. That's how I pronounce it. Young.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Somebody else.
I could go. From Manhattan and Brooklyn now, looking at the screen in my living room.
Beautiful. Anyone else?
I can go. I just moved to Houston, Georgia, and I'm looking at my patio, which has a million pavers in it, and the pavers need to go, and I'm going to put some plants in. So
Lovely.
I just unpacked all those boxes.
Oh, that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. I have two new messages here. Oh, I love this too. From, oh, more popping in. So it's hard to stay with them, but jacaranda bloom is falling in Mexico City, sitting in an outside cafe. Do you hear the poetry? Do you see the photographs that are going along with these beautiful statements of truth? Yeah? Okay. More will evolve. Bookmark some of your writing so you can return to it. This is a way, a photograph is also a way to kind of treasure a moment and savor it for now as well as for later. What it does is it mesmerizes us for the time being, but it also catapults us for later use. You can relate to that, yes? Yes. Okay, perfect. So let me go to the next slide. So Photo-Poetics to create works of inspiration gives us introspective and multiple lenses on the use of photography as well as poetry. You do not need to be a photographer. You do not need to be a poet per se, but it certainly helps. So which do you think comes first, the photo or the poem? Not that it really matters. It hardly matters. Maybe they both come at the same time. Give them both the ability to take root, to blossom, and to thrive. Don't worry about which one came first. You will get yourself caught up in a tangle. Not necessary. I really love taking photographs. I want to be able to read to you what our participants are saying. And writing. It's funny that you ask. Yeah, do you have difficulty? Let's have a dialogue. The person that just chimed in that, if you would please unmute and speak that line, what you just said, please.
Oh no, I just loved writing since I was 9 years old. And then at the same time, like my dad had this camera and he let me, it was old though, use his. And I'm not sure what age I started doing that. And I started loving taking photos too. So it's interesting.
It is, right? So maybe the picture grabbed you first. Maybe it was relative to where you were in space and time that brought you back to a memory. Photos do that a lot. I'm trying to go to the next slide here. Okay, I had to minimize the screen. So some things that other people have said. Photography is an austere and blazing poetry of the real. From Ansel Adams. Is everyone familiar with Ansel Adams? A photographer who does magnificent black and white photography. Exactly, that just blows you away, right? And a camera, like I said a moment ago, is a save button for the mind's eye. Perfect. Anybody want to comment on that? So where I'm from, we just did a little mini session, mini. We took less than 5 minutes to say, where are we from? And what does the picture look like that goes along with that? So there's a fabulous poem by George Ella Lyon. And it begins with, I am from clothespins, from Clorox and carbon tetrachloride. Now, most people would not see this as poetry per se, because it's not in a rhyme scheme or it's not in a verse per se. It's free form. I love the hard sounds that come with it. It's a soft poem, but it's a loud and proud song in a sense. At the same time, I am from clothespins, from Clorox and carbon tetrachloride. Beautiful, beautiful. I want you to take a moment. We're going to do these snapshots, okay? Goes with photography really well. Where I am from, and make it a picture that's inescapable. It could be alliterative, like this one is, the repeat of the C sound, clothespins, Clorox, carbon tetrachloride. So something along those lines. Just take a moment. You may want to revisit this later, so I want to give time for expansion. I was told that y'all love to write. Well, I just came from the National Association for Poetry Therapy conference, so I am all lit with that. You might sense it. I have a hard time keeping it, calm. I get electrified by poetry. Wonderful. They're coming in. They're coming in. When I used to do radio, you weren't allowed to have like any lag time, because space is a commodity and it's expensive. So I had to fill it in. So I had to keep talking no matter what. So I apologize. Those of you that are looking for that quiet place to write and land, I'm kind of dual tasking here. These are great. Those of you that would like to speak it out, can we have that one line at a time?
Okay.
Beautiful. Would you like to read your line?
This is Bonnie, and I'll read mine.
Thank you.
I'm a single egg, monozygotic, amniotic, splash with sister.
Yes. Love it. Fabulous. Fabulous. Someone else. Speak it through. Oh, I love these. Oh my God, these are so great. See, I don't want to steal your voice. I don't even want to read it for you. Oh, these are so magnificent. Please speak them. Please speak them. I'm going to call on you. I'm going to call on you. I have to. Chris, would it be okay for you to speak it, please?
I'm from baby baths and kitchen sinks, from sibling crowded rooms and linoleum playgrounds.
Oh, beautiful. Bushra.
Yeah, I'm from overalls, flowering trees, and the shell-cluttered sea.
Money.
I'm from the end of a long road and horse rides in the woods.
These are so great. Jan.
I'm from buildings, concrete, reflective windows up the sky with the hills in the background.
Lee.
Greetings.
Greetings. Can you read what you wrote?
I didn't write anything. Oh, sorry. You mean in the chat?
Yes, yes.
I just said I'm sorry for being late. You know, Eventbrite was playing silly buggers. Kept sending me a code, and then the code didn't work, and then it sent me another, and I ended up getting 5 codes together. And anyway, enough of that. I have arrived.
Where are you from?
I'm from the UK.
And what is the view from where you sit right now? Can you paint the picture for us, please?
Well, it's just about 5:30, a pleasant spring afternoon. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's as I live on the coast, it's quite breezy, but otherwise it's very pleasant. And all I can see really are trees. And there's a dove nesting in the tree, which is really sweet.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Lee, and welcome.
Yes, I'm obviously an interloper. It just sort of caught my attention, so I've no idea what I've joined, but I'm sure I shall find out as the hour progresses.
Yes, you will. The full picture, Photo-Poetics, the use of photography and poetry as a framework for inspiration, creativity, and perspective. This is where you've landed, Lee.
Oh, excellent. I mean, sounds interesting.
Thank you. All right, can I hear from Kayla?
Oh yes, that's the name on the Zoom account I'm using. I am from my first seizure and no days off.
Difficult, right? You may want to return to that. So this is the poetry therapist as well as the poet and photographer in me. You may want to incorporate a photograph that has to do with healing from that. Maybe even something before, during, after that might symbolize what you have been through, or synthesize it in a poem. And you can do that with things like, I used to be, but now I am. Another great sentence stem that you can incorporate for writing purposes.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome.
You're welcome. Beth, this is beautiful. Can you read so we can hear your voice?
Yes. I am from narrow roads, cool streams on the left, maple groves holding the hill together.
So yummy. This is also yummy. She dragon. Would you like to add your voice?
Sure. I am from a hammock strung across the kitchen, from 17 string zithers and geckos clambering across the walls.
Oh, beautifully spoken. Do you see the pictures accompanying these beautiful words? Yes. Let me see. MS, would you like to add your words?
Sure. I am from warm German fried potatoes and crisp smelling chilled Riesling wine, paired with Korean kimchi, stir fried spicy anchovies, seaweed, and rice.
Oh, yes. You see what I mean? I can't contain myself. I just can't. I can't. I know we have other prompts to go by, but this is so important because here we are all over the world. Here's my little world. We're right here, all of us. All of us are right here. We're in the same space, in the same place. This is not geographically correct, by the way, but poetic license, we're allowed to do that. Just like photos don't always show the full picture, we can fill in where it might be lacking. Is there anybody else who would like to add their voice to this particular slide before we go to the next one? If you have a burning desire, I do not want to ignore that. So if you do, please raise your hand or unmute yourself and speak, please.
Oh, gosh.
Is that a yes? Oh my goodness. Okay, one last one. I am from tulips, tall, and wine from childhood. Short and yellow for Afghan mountains, and 100 drift from the hardware store. I am from the neighbor's cat, a lion stalking through iris spears, and the soft gray tabby, quilted in love. Oh my goodness. Okay, I've got to move along, but it'll all be worth the ride. I am from the dirt under the back porch. This is a continuation of the poem. Black glistening, it tasted like beets. I am from the forsythia bush, the Dutch elm, whose long gone limbs I remember. Have any of you read this poem before by chance? Is this new to you? Ah, this is new, a virgin poem? My goodness, I know how I feel when I get one of those. It's amazing, isn't it? You see all the pictures unfolding. You've got a whole new album, right? As if they were my own. I'm from the know-it-alls and the pass-it-ons, from the perk up and the pipe down. So these are all excerpts of it, but you can find this poem, Where I'm From, by George Ella Lyon. Isn't it just magnificent? So I have a lot of favorites, but one of them that goes so well with the theme of what we're working with here is a beautiful, beautiful poem by Sharon Olds. And it just so happens that I have a picture, an actual picture of me and Sharon Olds at a poetry festival conference, right? From 2005. And I am wearing a sweatshirt that says, "Support the arts, hug a poet." And she took me literally and did. And she said, "You're probably going to ask me if I've written an ode to a hug poem." I said, "No, not at all." I said, "I'm just so happy you're here. I'm actually kind of speechless." So anyway, she's lovely, and she does write a lot of ode tos that you wouldn't necessarily expect. Like, so I'm a sex therapist, so I'm going to say something that might be graphic, but ode to a penis, ode to a vagina. They're wonderful, wonderful pieces of art. That is not what this one is, however, so we're going to go back. So photos are visual cues of parked memories. And I like to use Sharon Olds' poem, I Go Back to May 1937, because it paints quite a prophetic picture of the influence of her parents on the lives of those in the future. I'm going to give you just a glimpse into some of the most powerful lines, which are illustrated here. I see them standing at the formal gates of their colleges. I see my father strolling out under the ochre sandstone arc, the red tiles glinting like bent plates of blood behind his head. I see my mother with a few light books at her hip, standing at the pillar made of tiny bricks. What are some of the things that you see right away? What are you picturing? What stands out? Type into the chat, what was the line or what was the picture that you saw? What stood out the most? Well, don't be shy on me now. Sure, you were all talking and visual cues and imagery. Come on now. Let those pens flow or those fingers type. We do still say type, right? We don't use fancy words like encode or... Wasn't that beautiful? Did you like it? Yeah. Okay. All those cards and letters are coming in now. All right. Oh, I love this from before. I am a word. I will not go unspoken. Do what you are going to do, and I will tell about it. Yes, plates of blood. Her parents as students, right? Isn't it weird that we think of them in that way, right? Or that we can. She's seeing her parents when they meet and were young. What a beautiful start of a poem that could be. I imagine my parents when they first met. There's a sentence stem for you. I love the mother with the books on her hips. I do as well. Yeah, and it seems so typical of that time, does it not? Oh, by the way, there is a picture that goes with this, but I don't have it. Yeah. So let's go on from there, just so we can get to all the other yummies, yeah? Oh, there's more. I can't ignore you. I can't. I was struck by the line break. Yeah, let me go back because it's too good. I was struck by the line break. You know what? You can speak this in your own words. I don't need to speak for you. I want you to speak for yourselves, please. So, who would like to go? One at a time. What were you struck by?
This
Please
is
speak.
Bonnie, and
Thank you.
I was wondering if they knew each other yet.
Mm,
We kind of see them maybe standing, across from each other somewhere, maybe looking at each other, and
mhm,
maybe they don't know each other. And a few light books at her hip. The more I
mhm.
think about it, especially for back in 1937, it's almost that time when maybe she didn't take her studies quite as seriously because she was at school looking for a husband. I don't know, but that's where, my mind can go there.
Yes, yes, it can. That's the glorious thing about photographs. They allow our mind to wander, to saunter, to prance, to dance, to do whatever it needs to do, to be still. And then we can race on because it's a bookmark. It's a place saver. That's why I take so many. I may not have time to write the poem about it right now. I'll show you an illustration. I may not have time because I'm caught up in the cloud, or I'm caught up in the colors, or I'm caught up in what I can't quite see, but it's beckoning me just the same. So I save it. I'll photograph it now, take a picture later. This one came out at the same time. Let peace be your guide. I make photo-poetic greeting cards also. So that's one way to encapsulate it.
Hey, Deborah, this is Beth Ramos. I just saw that we're talking about two different schools. I see them standing at the formal gates of their colleges. So, wow, that just really broadens the whole experience of the poem.
Yes, doesn't it? Good pickup. Way to go, Beth. Yes. You're seeing beyond the self-imposed boundary of the words, of the pictures we're creating. Excellent. Excellent. How about just the repetition of I see? And then again, I see. Almost like a confirmation. And then again, I see. And this is exactly how the poem spills out. This is how it begins. Excellent. I'm with such scholars. I am humbled. Over and over and over again. You know, no matter how many times I do this work, I'm always just amazed. Here's some more. I want to go up to them and say, stop. Don't do it. She's the wrong woman. He's the wrong man. You are going to do things you cannot imagine you would ever do. What are some things that come up there? It's kind of like a warning. What are some things that you might imagine? Yeah, regret is pretty big. It's dark. Maybe they have a violent relationship, right? We don't really know. There's a mystery, right? There's a warning. Okay. That's what I would tell my parents. Don't do it. Right. How many of you would actually say this to your parents? Yeah, a few, right. I always thought this poem was about, whoops, sorry. I'm not sure what it was about. Can someone please speak that? I always thought this poem was about what? Please fill in the space. Out loud. To us in the moment.
Child abuse?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm in another time zone. I just woke up.
Oh, so sorry. Thank you for chiming in. I do appreciate that. So maybe there's a bit of mystery. Maybe it's not as bad as we think. We don't really know. We have to keep going though. And maybe that's what they did too. Maybe that's what they did too. All right. I take them up like paper dolls and bang them together at the hips, like chips of flint, as if to strike sparks from them. I say, do what you are going to do, and I will tell about it. Powerful stuff, right? Imagine if you could. Imagine if you could. Now, we can take this one. We could take this one and work with it. It'll take a bit of time though. So in your mind's eye, what I would prefer is that you recall a favorite photograph. And you write what happened either, see, we have choices. We have choices. Don't you love choices? They can mangle a moment just like that. It's like, oh no, I really thought I knew where I was going, and now you've given me choices. I want to do them all. Okay, you can, just maybe not all right now. You can write about what happened just before your favorite photograph was taken, or the moment right after. You can write from the perspective of an object in the photograph, or you can write from the perspective of the photographer and what they wanted to capture. So for the purpose of this workshop, which is going by in record speed, maybe you can just choose one, see what comes out, and choose in your mind's eye your favorite photograph. Now, I usually allow 5 minutes, but remember, I have radio brain, so I'm going to fill in the spaces as you write. Sorry for the intrusion. Not sorry. We know how to focus and refocus like the lens of a camera. Allow it to come in for a close view and to come back out for perspective. And just jot down a couple of things that will mark your place. Either writing what happened just before the photograph was taken or the moment right after, or from the object in the photograph, or the perspective of the photographer, what they wanted to capture. And if somebody would like to give voice once they have an idea there, yeah, the poem can often take a sharp left turn. Most definitely. Some, it's like riding a roller coaster. And I'm going to show you a photograph I took of old time photographs in a booth. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. Remember these? These old time photographs? They're done in a picture booth. It used to be like 4 for a quarter, 4 for 50 cents. And what I wrote there was, if your favorite photograph could talk, what would it say? And that's yet another angle that we could use here. Yeah. I hope I'm giving you plenty of ideas. Can you give me a thumbs up if I am? Awesome. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I do want to stimulate as best I can. Wonderful. Lee says, am I now frozen in time, never changing, never growing old, waiting for memory, my precious time machine to revisit a younger, less weathered by time, but more aware of my wisdom, of the wisdom of winter rain. Ah, beautiful. Sorry, I messed that up there. See, it's always best in your voice. I'm tired of my voice. Anybody want to share?
Do you want me to read what I've written?
Sure.
Am I now frozen in time, never changing, never growing old, waiting for memory, my precious time machine to revisit a younger me, less weathered by time, but more aware of the wisdom of winter rain?
Oh, you have a beautiful tone, a beautiful, beautiful tone. Do you work in radio or TV? And if not, there's something for you there, Lee. Most definitely. Beautiful narrator. Beautiful. Yes, right? The wisdom of winter rain. We all can be captivated by the picture you just painted for all of us. That was magnificent. Magnificent. Anyone else? Go ahead and unmute yourself and read.
Oh, this is Beth again. I'm just having so much fun.
Me too.
I, the bright yellow circus-themed balloon, the sunrise capturing my delight in being the star of Albuquerque.
Oh, yes. Yes. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Excellent. Excellent. Anyone
Hey,
else?
this is Bonnie, and I'll read.
Okay.
Those young men stationed in Hawaii, swim trunks, tans, cigarettes. They float on a small dock, feet dangling in the warm waves. It's World War II. Will this be the last time a smile, a face, or an arm is recorded?
I could see it. I could see it, right? That was phenomenal. Oh my goodness, you guys are blowing me away. I can't get back to work after this. I'm glad I gave myself an hour after this. Yeah. To marinate in this loveliness. Yes. It's so awesome to meet all of you. There's so much more to do. I'm trying to be cognizant of time because I do know what a task this is to get everyone stimulated enough to write, be able to go from here to there. So I'm going to move it along just a little bit, not to ignore any of your voices, but to enhance them further. These are things you can all go back to, correct? Right? Yeah. Okay. So I want to show you a couple of other things that will prompt you to write, I hope, that has to do with photography. If you were only able to take one photograph with you, you were being sent to another planet, and you had to synthesize all of the photographs you've ever had. It's kind of like when you open your phone and you see you have, 20 gazillion, gamillion photographs, and you can only choose one. Which one would you take with you and why? It's just something that it's a prompt that you can write from. So that's something I wanted to throw at you. And now I'm going to show you a couple of things. If you were to imagine that you have your dream, what would it look like? That's an interesting photographic kind of a thing to work with. And here is a card, and it says, what do you really want? And it's a temporary tattoo. This one is Central Park at night. Might be a little difficult to see, but what I wrote on there was, the dark is a perfect illuminator of light. So light is a very important feature in photography. And just the right shining of it will give you a much brighter picture. And I mean that emotionally as well as physically. If you've ever looked up close into an orchid, it looks a lot like a cougar or a cat or an angel, depending on, this is an orchid, or you get to see what a snow angel really looks like in light. So maybe this is a light angel, right? And the face is even more remarkable. Some is lost on the, but you get the idea. Inside every flower is a towering truth. You might want to use that as a prompt as well. A simple sidewalk, concrete blocks, just like we heard in the first poem. You might be thinking, where's this path taking me? Or insights are often found on a walk. You can use that as a prompt. Tower above all expectations. It is just a city block. It's in New York. When I was working from New York, this was my view out of my portable desk. And last but not least, one of my all-time favorites. This is a picture of me and my dad hours before he passed. I did not know that this would be the last picture of me and my dad. So I just threw a whole bunch of things at you. No time to process at all. Kind of mean, right? Not really. And just to go to, yeah, I'm really going fast, right? How am I doing on time? Good?
Yeah, you're doing okay.
I
It,
need to start wrapping, so let me go
yeah,
to the,
yeah,
got it?
that's fine.
Listen, you always want to leave them wanting more.
You have about probably 5 minutes.
Okay, good, good. So I want to share with you, it goes with the last picture, something that I wrote after the last picture and after his death, because I wasn't ready to write yet. And that might be what all of you are experiencing as well. So it is called, My Father is Teaching Me Polish. My father is teaching me Polish in a Mexican restaurant. The guttural groans of Eastern European potato-laden syllables clashes with the castanet clicking of the waitress saying, "Sí, steak de puerco, pollo a la plancha." The vowels float off her rolled tongue in perfect rhythm with her pen. My father motions that he is ready to teach more phrases and prods playfully. He tries to find a language lost since 1929, yet somehow is more familiar with the English that escapes his short-term memory, lost like light in the sun or shadows in the dark. At times, it feels as if I have walked into a Salvador Dali timepiece painting, the memories melting like tired clocks, surrealistically real, because I know Dad too is unwinding. His time here ticks away in increments of "co chcesz," what do you want? And "ja nie wiem," I don't know. On certain days, he is so lucid, I want to bring him back home to live with us, have him help me peel his beloved kartofli, potatoes, as he watches Matlock and says for the fourth time in 5 minutes, he puts on a good show, that Matlock. It's a nice picture. I agree. Put the potatoes in a pot and wait for them to boil. During commercials, I chime back what he has taught. His proud smile shines through the steam rising from the range. This memory, too, will soon be a mirage. He echoes back, "Pravda," correct. "So yes, Jay, what else?" And I can't find all the words for all that I want to know. So I hug him and silently beg God for more time because to jest moja ojciec, this is my father. And I am not yet ready for the not so distant horizon of goodbye. Do widzenia, goodbye. Do widzenia, goodbye. Do widzenia. I prefer not to say goodbye to any of you. I want to see you flourish in your journey with your words, with your pictures. And in closing, I want you to chime in a line that struck you, a word, a feeling, and let's keep the words flowing as a kind of group poem. So let's be mindful of, someone who has their hand up, go ahead and speak it. And then the next person and the next person. And let's have those, voices ring true. Why does this keep going to full screen? I don't know. Who would like to speak the closing words?
So lucid.
No one else?
I just wanted to say it was a beautiful poem. I just lost my father and it really, really touched me. Thank you.
You're very welcome. It's a universal theme, loss and love and birth and rebirth and challenge. And so thank you for allowing me to share that with you. Grief is always in the room. I'm a bereavement specialist as well, so those memories will mean even more now, won't they? You have access to photographs, to writing. You have many ways to keep him close. Beautiful. Vanishing mirage. Yeah, right.
Can I ask, is this a sort of regular ongoing event, or is it just a short little mini kind of festival?
Am I able to hop in?
Yes.
Please. Question was.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie Fletcher. My name's Stephanie Fletcher, and I'm the CEO of Hope at Hand. And we write grants and provide free poetry programming for at-risk kids in Jacksonville, Florida. And then we also host Jack's Poetry Fest every year. We had 29 countries last year participate in Jack's Poetry Fest. We're so thrilled y'all are here. This is our 10th anniversary and we have no plans to stop. You'll see the QR code is up there now. So I write grants and then provide free services. So having you respond is really important. It shows our grant funders that people care and we're not just making up our numbers, that you're real people attending workshops and there's a love for poetry all over the world. We switched from an in-person format in 2020 when the pandemic hit and had no idea that you guys would find us all over the world. And so we've not really gone back to the in-person format. We're keeping the virtual format. So we should be around for a long time.
For the benefit of Luddites, could you possibly put a kind of link into the chat?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
I'll do it now.
Thank you. Emma, can you do Hope at Hand? Emma, can you do Hope at Hand and Jack's Poetry Fest, please?
Yes. Yeah. And
I can do everything.
I can do everything. And Lee, if you're looking for more workshops, we do have more this month. Jack's Poetry Fest is all month long. So I'll put in the chat a link where you can
check it out. Thank you. I'm sorry about this, but I'm a Luddite at heart. If it doesn't have a knob or a lever, it's the spawn of Satan. But I do my
I have
best.
the same issue.
And I don't know about the whole world, but April is National Poetry Month in the United States. So we have programming every year, the whole month of April.
Right. I didn't know that.
And Stephanie is absolutely magnificent at what she does, and everybody that works with her. You are like, I don't even have words for you. I don't even have enough pictures for you. You are just one glorious, amazing being, and I am humbled to know you.
Thank you, Deborah. Now you're going to make me weepy.
And this is my first Jacksonville festival as well, and shame on me.
We hope to see you back next year then.
You'll see me on the 25th also. And yes, you will see me next year.
Okay, so with that, we want to thank our sponsors, Florida Arts and Culture, the Cultural Council of Greater Jacksonville, Poetry Foundation, Dolores Bar Weaver Fund, Jim Moran Foundation, and the City of Jacksonville. And thank you everyone for coming to this workshop. And as everyone was talking about, there are many more opportunities to do the upcoming workshops. So I'm going to stop the recording and wrap up this workshop. See you all soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. That was glorious.